Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, June 11th, 2021. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. That's right, the weekend is upon us. We're going to be wrapping up another week of your favorite crypto podcast. 2 hours in the bag, about to be in the bag, but another week under our belts. And it's good, of course, to have made it through another week. Bitcoin, of course, still hanging out to some shred of support here around 36K. Man, oh man. Things are looking kind of indecisive, yet, dare I say it, kind of droopy. Alt markets showing some weakness. I don't know if this is good for Bitcoin, but we're going to discuss all this, including all the latest FUD in the space. Yes, danger, Will Robinson. The FUD is getting real. We're approaching unprecedented times. You don't want to be sleeping on what could be brewing, but of course it could just amount to FUD, not to panic anybody. But we'll be discussing some of these projections as to what might very well be popping off this weekend in the crypto markets a little later in the show. But in the meantime, let's bring in our analysts. As always, CC analysts are here with us on the stream. We have Alex with us. Alex, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm well, thank you.
All right, excellent. That's Alex. And Jason, you with us?
Yep, I'm doing great. Honestly, I'm just kind of in awe of the Dixie right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll get into the Dixie in a little bit for when you guys get into your analysis.
It's gonna be an interesting weekend.
It's just let's spoiler. Is it going pushing up or?
Oh yeah, it's having quite the day to the upside.
Interesting. All right. Well, challenges in other spots in the market. Dixie surging ahead. Of course, we'll check in on the Dixie chart in just a little bit once Alex gets into his main analysis. But in the meantime, you know how these next 2 hours are going to unfold. The first hour of the show, as always, is the intro and the news segment before we dive into, of course, a little review of the live chat, and then, of course, Alex's analysis of the traditional and crypto markets, and just a wider view, as always, brought to you by the first hour of the show. By the second hour, of course, we're going to get into the AMA and chart requests portion, so stand by for that. And as always, we'll be opening up that D-Live chest for our D-Live audience. Be sure to stay tuned for the lemons, which will be getting dispersed about an hour and 45 minutes into the show, so hang tight for that.
We love all the D-bags on D-Live.
Oh boy.
D-bags on D-Live.
All right, let's get into this, guys. Let's do a quick recap of the latest price action. Let's see what's going on in the space. All right, quick look at Bitcoin, currently at 36,688. Yeah, holding above the baseline. Sawada is still building a little bit of momentum. Mink's barely poking its head out above zero. As not amazing as this looks. Ostensibly better than some of the other alts in the space. Bitcoin, of course, tapped 37.7 overnight. Since pulled back a bit to this 36.7 spot. What is in the works for Bitcoin? Struggling even to make even a half decent run at 40K. Overall, not looking too pretty, but again, maybe this much better than the next chart we're about to take a glance at. Here's a look at Ethereum USD, and this is a whole other story. This is weak. It's so much weaker looking than Bitcoin.
I wonder why AMP and Chili's are diverging from the market here. That's very interesting.
Yeah, Chili's has been up for a couple of days now.
Well, I think it's just it was yesterday and now today. I don't recall seeing it before that. I think someone even requested it yesterday, if I recall. We'll have to take a look at it again.
We'll certainly have to check in on the Chili's chart a little later. But in the meantime, yeah, here's a quick look at Ethereum, currently at 23.78, and doesn't look like there's any end in sight to the pain. I guess prepare for a dive into the lower 2000s on Ethereum with the way things are going. But there's your quick look at Ethereum. Let's have a look. Here's a look at EOS. Looks like the Ethereum chart, currently at $5. Come again? Jason, you say something?
No.
Oh, sorry. All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Yeah, all right. Here's a look at EOS. Not much to do there. Doge looking a bit like everything else. Doge currently at 31 cents. Still waiting for that next big plummet to hit the space, and most of all, Doge. Here's a look at Link. Man, looking like pretty much everything else. Bleeding out. $22 Link presently. Here's a look at XRP. 85 cents on XRP, kind of hugging the Keltner channel the last few days, but still a downtrend. Not much else to say here. Here's a look at Polkadot, currently at $21. Not much stronger than most of the other tokens, but somehow managing to hang on above the baseline. Not much to be said here. Indicators look pretty flat. Here's a look at Kusama, the bastard. I think we posted, Alex, I think you posted a long signal on Kusama because it did look so damn good yesterday and the day prior.
What can I say? I thought we still had some room to move up until resistance, but as of right now, we'll be getting an exit signal at the end of today. We'll see what happens.
Well, still a few hours left in today. I hope Kusama can surprise us and not disappoint with bearishness like we're seeing across the space, but still looks notably more green than many of the other tokens we've scanned so far. Kusama currently at $433 after selling off from yesterday's high of $536. So currently down nearly 20%, nearly down 20% from yesterday's highs. Will this bounce from here? I guess we'll wait and see. What else do we have? Here's a look at Matic, looking like everything else. Hella droopy. Hella selling off $1.31. Rest in peace, Matic. The WADA negative momentum really starting to build here as people exit their Matic. BNB, quick look at BNB. Hanging out above the baseline, but really not much going on with the other indicators. BNB currently at $355. Alright, here's the Uni token, $22. Starting to really break down from here. Yeah, not looking too pretty. Wonder if you could take a continuation short today if this thing tumbles just a little bit further. Maybe discretionarily. But there's a quick look at Uni guy. What's ADA? ADA is at 148. Droopy like about everything else, but building a bit of WADA negative momentum. Apparently the place to have shorted it was right here about 4 or 5 days ago. Might open up it for a continuation short, not too sure, but Cardano looking like it's ready to drop. Alright, let's check in on GME. Yes, GME took quite the tumble, closed pretty much right at the baseline or inside the Keltner channel. Things are looking droopy as the traders tap out for the weekend, and GME closes at $227. So we'll see how this plays out. Here's AMC looking a little better. In fact, dare I say, making a bit of a recovery today from the selling. And here it is at $48. Yes, the short squeeze of the ages continues. Alright, not much more to say. This DFI token I like to follow has got sold hard into, even though it looked pretty strong yesterday, but these stabs up into resistance and then plummet. Still wholly supported the baseline though. Maybe this is a good spot to pick it up and take it higher, but that's it for now, guys. We've done a quick scan of the latest price action brought to you by some of the CC indicator suite. Some of my favorite indicators, as always, used for this daily scan. Alright, let's get into the next segment. We've covered this kind of disappointing price action, but god damn it, Bitcoin, do something already.
Oh, that stick.
Yeah, precisely, that meme. Let's go take a quick gander over at the bubbles. Let's see what the bubbles are up to. Alt space looking kind of weak. A couple outlier gainers today, such as AMP. Yes, the AMP token up 31%. Chili's up 25%. So nice day for these two coins. And of course, there's a couple gainers here too that I can make a note of. Engine. ENJ up 6%. Minor gains found over in Blockstacks, Waves, DCR, ALGO, BAT, and that's about it. Everything else is at least single digit red, loser day over day, including some big sell-offs happening, I guess, on the likes of Rune, down nearly 13%. SNX Synthetics is down nearly 11%. T-Fuel down nearly 14%. And yes, Bitcoin Gold appropriately down nearly 20%. Yeah, things are looking weak. If anything, I feel like we're seeing the inklings of a divergence here, you know? Alts performed so strong. I feel like Bitcoin is holding up decently well, and dare I say it, alt season looking like this one's done, set in the history books.
I mean, alt season's been dead for 2 months, dude. Do you watch the same show?
I suppose I do. I thought there was I thought things moved in tandem though with the Bitcoin sell-off. Now it seems like the alt.
Well, there has to be some boundary for it to diverge, right?
Yes, indeed, it has been more or less dead. I'm I did sell pretty much a lot of my alt positions, seemingly what I might have been a little early, but now looking back at it, good enough. It was close enough to the top where I guess I don't regret it. But I have to say, after observing the last couple weeks at least, seems like Bitcoin, despite the big sell-off, is holding up reasonably well, and I do feel like alts have been rattled and haven't really made much of a comeback yet, except maybe for a couple select picks. But all right, guys, what's up?
Nothing.
Was somebody about to interject? No problem. Let's
You're not watching TV, are you, Jason?
What's that?
You're not watching TV, are you?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm all alone.
All right. Let's dive into the next segment, guys. Let's get into the news. Let's see what's going on in the wider space, in the wider world. What do we have? Yes, like I said, we're going to be bringing you some quality FUD. But first, let's start with this story here from Crypto Briefing. Texas banks can now store Bitcoin for clients. Interesting. Texas Department of Banking has allowed state-chartered banks to provide custody services for crypto investors. The regulator clarified that custody services will only be allowed for banks that establish adequate protocols. The notice follows the state's approval of a bill recognizing commercial investments in cryptocurrency. All right, so another, small step for crypto, but a big leap forward, I guess, on the regulatory front. The Texas Department of Banking allowed state-chartered banks to store crypto assets on behalf of clients. New Texas Financial Code. This was in the notice posted yesterday. Yes. While giving, this part is appropriate. While giving banks the control of private keys is at odds with the ethos underpinned by cryptocurrency movement, it's a much-needed step for institutional adoption. As per U.S. legal requirements, institutional investors must have their assets, including cryptocurrency, stored securely with a qualified third-party custodian such as a bank. Yep, it is indeed a good move forward, especially on the institutional front. So shout outs to Texas, I guess recognizing investors' rights and giving the go ahead for banks to start storing Bitcoin for clients. It is maybe not so significant of a move, but it's still an incremental step forward.
I mean, what's the big benefit of having a bank hold it rather than me?
There is the fact that they might have a more robust infrastructure for storing things, right? You might shove yours in the sock drawer or and bury it in the yard. You drop dead, your next of kin has no idea how to recover it. Whereas, so
you trust the banks with it?
Again, it does go against the ethos, the general ethos of Bitcoin. But for many users, particularly institutions that probably have fiduciary requirements that don't allow exactly one person on the board to oversee the keys. For individuals, I could still see a benefit, right? It's the same benefit you might have if you decide to store your coins on Coinbase, other than instead of holding it yourself, right? If you hold your coins on Coinbase, there is some insurance fund likely to protect you in case of a catastrophe, and mitigates against risks that you might incur if you're not necessarily totally savvy or protected, right?
If there's a hurricane that goes by and blows away your treasure.
Exactly, right? You didn't do your due diligence. There are not everyone's a power user. Not everyone needs to self-custody their Bitcoin. In fact, in some cases, you can imagine, right? Less technologically savvy individuals, the boomers, your parents, your grandparents, etc. They might not be cut out to self-custody their crypto. It might be better in the hands of a trusted third-party custodian. And so I can see many wide-ranging.
Friendly neighborhood banker. Government.
If you already have a banking relationship with them, and I could also see other opportunities opening up in the future, right? You ostensibly have a nice big sack of collateral sitting on their balance sheet thanks to your fresh crypto deposit. Maybe it opens up further, maybe further lending.
Well, that sounds like the problem we already have.
Yeah, so there is that. I do think this is a decent development. Anything that helps, further along institutional development, some acceptance in the mainstream, build a comfort, give the institutions some experience and comfort working with digital assets, I think is a good thing, especially when you consider some of these next stories we're going to cover, which include some top tier FUD. All right, let's have a look here. Let's close this and head into this one. We've already read this. All right, here, before we get to the FUD, here's one coming from Miami, Florida. Miami stakes the claim to become the world's biggest Bitcoin and crypto capital. Miami has a dynamic mayor, lots of VC money, and is coming off the largest ever crypto extravaganza. But is that enough? Without legal clarity. Of course, as Miami comes down from the high of having hosted the largest ever Bitcoin event, it seems reasonable to ask, does the Sunshine State in Entrepot really have what it takes to become the world's cryptocurrency capital? A new role foreseen by its dynamic mayor. If not, could Miami at least become the next crypto valley, i.e. a cradle for crypto and blockchain innovation, like the Swiss canton of Zug? The optics certainly look good, as New York Times noted in the coverage of last week's Bitcoin 2021 gathering. The city has gone full crypto, with Bitcoin ATM sprinkling Miami's Wynwood neighborhood. Meanwhile, crypto exchange FTX has secured the naming rights for the Miami Heat's arena, while there was also a proposal by the Miami Mayor Francis Suarez to allow citizens to pay taxes with cryptocurrency, among other things. Others caution that a lot of hard work still awaits, and regulatory legislative events have to take a favorable turn before Miami can lay claim to being the crypto capital of anything in the rapidly evolving cryptoverse. Yes, so of course this particular pundit says Miami cannot do this without the Florida state legislator passing pro-crypto legislation, said this managing partner, which followed a question about the Bitcoin 2021 conference being a milestone event and a harbinger of big things to come. This analyst says yes, but in large part due to the pent-up demand for such a conference, given the crypto bull market occurring during the pandemic. Yeah, I can see why, right? After the wider world has been in basically an LD situation, I guess this was a welcome getaway for many people, especially following what was a pretty epic bull run during the course of said LD. I guess a lot of people wanted to get away to Miami, Florida. All right.
Well, my understanding, I thought you were going to present a different news story. My understanding is COVID spread so rapidly through, because there's like 50,000 people for a place that could only hold 15,000 people. So it was just packed wall to wall at Bitcoin Miami.
Okay.
If you go to News Pulse Premium, if you can, I've got a picture with some of the tweets in it. Or I could drop it somewhere else if that's easier for you, Jay.
Let me take a look here. Could you drop it in general chat?
Yeah.
All right, I have got it. Let's see what Alex is referencing here. Thank you kindly. All right, so here's a tweet. So according to Larry Chermak, everyone who I hung out with in Miami got COVID. Luckily for me, I hung out about 1 foot above everyone. Okay. Eric Wall just tested positive for COVID. Some info if you're not in Miami. Tested negative on the second test, and on this, I tested negative on the second antigen and on the 6th PCR. I had no symptoms until I got back home to Sweden. 8th to 9th. I was not vaccinated. Alright, let's see here. Luke Martin. Looks like I'm joining the BTC Miami COVID list. Turns out the attending packed event to discuss numbers go up. Technology does increase the chance of getting sick. I wish you all good health and green candles. And if you're feeling sick, go get tested this week. And another user says, just tested positive for COVID-19. Probably got it at the BTC conference in Miami, but whatever. Well, that seems like unfortunate circumstances. I hope everybody is okay. Maybe a little too early to declare an outright outbreak among conference goers, but
People got a cold.
Well, a few people showing symptoms, others merely testing positive. I guess we'll find out if COVID or Bitcoin Conference 2021 ends up wiping out a big contingent of Bitcoiners everywhere. You have been warned, I suppose. All right. Well, thank you, Alex, for bringing this to our attention. Remind me never to visit another conference again.
Or at least not Miami, let me tell you.
Yeah.
That was their first mistake.
Yeah, maybe, but I didn't realize Miami was such a hotspot of COVID cases.
Dude, they don't care. It's a hot spot for everything. Whatever.
Well, you have to understand, Florida just does not care at all about COVID.
Yes, and despite that, the world has not come crashing down. There isn't a massive death toll to reflect people's haphazard approach, I guess. So, we'll let this.
It has been caught hiding COVID statistics and changing stuff, but I mean, if you don't want to, we don't have to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we already said the C word enough on YouTube for one episode, but there is, of course, your little update there. Who just posted this garbage in general chat? Ban and delete. Bear with me here, guys. I'm going to ban this user here. Thank you very much. All right, let's dive right into the next item. Here's where the FUD will come rolling in. Dutch official calls for a complete ban on Bitcoin. The Netherlands must ban the mining, trading, and holding of Bitcoin because it doesn't meet any of the three functions of money and is handy for criminals, one Dutch official said. Of course, while El Salvador adopts Bitcoin as legal tender, one Dutch official blasted the cryptocurrency, calling for an urgent blanket ban. Piotr Hasenkamp, director of the Dutch Bureau for Economic Analysis under the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Policy, published an essay entitled "The Netherlands Must Ban Bitcoin." In line with the essay's title, Hasenkamp lists a wide list of reasons why the Dutch government must enforce an immediate total ban on mining, trading, and holding. According to the official, it could cause the price to plummet because Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, is only valuable because others may accept it. The executive cited a common anti-crypto narrative, arguing that any crypto is unable to fulfill any of the three functions as money, as a unit of account, means of payment, and store of value. He also cited other common anti-Bitcoin arguments, such as security concerns, risk of fraud and scams, and argued that Bitcoin is a useful tool for criminal actors. He also said the Netherlands have been lagging behind other countries that have moved to curb the crypto hype in recent years. Dutch regulators attempted to tighten up the supervision of trading platforms, but without much success. The Central Planning Bureau pointed out the risks of crypto trading back in 2018, but concluded that stricter regulation was not yet necessary. Alright, he said, blah, 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 special attention paid to Gresham's law, a monetary principle that states that overvalued currency or bad money tends to drive legally undervalued currency or good money out of circulation. He called Bitcoin bad money. He argued that Gresham's law could work the opposite way with Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. So there you have it, guys. The well, at least one Dutch bank parliamentarian, whoever this gentleman is exactly, a Dutch official for the Dutch Bureau of Economic Analysis. He's sounding off on Bitcoin. We're getting a lot of flack thrown our way as of late. This definitely made the rounds in the last 24 hours, and
it's just one guy. It's one guy, and it's not even like, does he even run that institute, or is like he's one of the people who works at that institute?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's the chief of this institute, but I did hear other EU officials conferring and discussing something similar. So it's undeniable. It's undeniable that, especially during these times, that there's finally going to be maybe some negative attention brought toward Bitcoin and crypto. We've had an epic bull run.
unprecedented times.
Yes, during these unprecedented times, and indeed, we could be heading into some economic turbulence. The world economy could be shifting under our feet as we speak. And go figure, they're setting their sights on Bitcoin, on cryptocurrency. Is this enough FUD for you guys? It's certain. Are you not entertained? Because at this point, the FUD seems to be scaling up, and of course, a big part of this is thanks to what I consider the bunk climate change narrative. See, by overindulging in this whole climate thing, there's going to be collateral damage, and Bitcoin likely to get caught up in the crossfire. They are coming for many of our treasured goodies, Bitcoin among them. I guess we'll be following the story, because I'm telling you, this is still developing. Is this the year? Is this the decade where they finally try and address cryptocurrency for good? Certainly seems to be developing in that direction, but we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see, what else do we have? I'll get into this very shortly. Let's see here. I'll get into this in just a minute as well. And let's see here. Yes, so this is a tweet covering the same director. So he was the director of the Dutch Bureau for Economic Analysis. Let's see here. All right, not much more to add it here. Let me just dive into another one. All right, this is what I wanted to bring up yesterday. We also had others. This one's now stateside. We had, what's her name? I don't want to use the pejorative for her. What is her name? This one here. I can't believe her name is slipping my mind. Hey, Alex, you recognize this U.S. What is she?
Elizabeth Warren?
Elizabeth Warren. Thank you very much. Yes, Elizabeth Warren made the Twitter rounds yesterday as well, because she also advocated for an all-out ban on Bitcoin. Speaking with others on this conference call yesterday, they advocated for making Bitcoin criminal, non-convertible into local currency in the U.S. and internationally, said Dr. Daryl Duffel during today's Senate hearing. That's right, it was a Senate hearing on central bank digital currencies. That's right, guys, they want to roll out their own digital currencies. You can't have private alternatives, apparently. That was kind of the meat of their discussion.
We don't know what they are or how to build them, but we want to ban all the other ones and make our own.
Yes, like we want the end.
Still, this would be absolutely catastrophic. Yes, the blockchain would probably remain. Blocks would likely keep getting mined, and to some degree things would continue. But it would certainly put things under a cloud for what could be an extended period of time. Not to mention absolutely nuke the price of Bitcoin crypto. Hopefully, we'll have some severe pushback. Maybe some kind of constitutional challenge could be foisted to try and head off anything like this to ever come our way. But unfortunately, things don't look good, right? We've been following this for a while now, between the ransomware, cybercrime narrative to the climate change narrative. It's an all-out assault on Bitcoin and on crypto, and I think we're only beginning to see the start of it. So plenty more FUD likely to come. I do hope the likes, the super wealthy, from the Jack Dorseys to the MicroStrategies to maybe Elon and the Tesla crowd, someone with deep pockets that can fund a good legal defense, someone who can maybe the industry can come together and hopefully defend crypto again, maybe on some kind of constitutional grounds. But something tells me we might very well have to collectivize and launch a serious defensive, because I feel like something bad is coming. I could play this, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. But the comments are pretty simple: ban ban Bitcoin and don't let anybody hold it, transfer it, or God forbid even sell it into fiat USD. Gentlemen, we're imploding the economy. There cannot be any exits for anyone, except of course unless you're some kind of insider, I suppose. Alex, you were going to say something?
I mean, it's some bad news. Things are bearish right now. Let's not get hysterical.
All right, good. Sooner or later, we will have a showdown. Might not be yet, though, so let's not overindulge in the FUD, shall we? All right, here's a little... this is something that might recap what we talked about yesterday, and that's, of course, CPI. Yes, the CPI numbers came out. Again, we touched on this yesterday. May consumer price data showed 5% increase from the year prior. Prices in May rose at the fastest annual rate since 2008. Likely linked to reopening efforts. Yes, the global economy got rocked thanks to the lockdown situation. And yeah, here we see that there is indeed some inflation concerns. Consumer price index data shows the biggest increase since the Great Recession. Let's see here. Supply chain issues and prices. Indeed, we are seeing major supply chain issues affecting particularly the car market. We're seeing used car prices surging, and we're seeing food and commodity prices climbing. It is indeed interesting times, interesting economic times. All right, we're at 138 though. I do have to kind of wrap the news segment up and head into the next one. If you want to add another FUD item to the list, well, El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption may jeopardize their IMF negotiations, says JP Morgan. Of course, is the latest. JP Morgan's the latest to respond to El Salvador's decision to adopt Bitcoin as legal currency. In a client note tweeted, this is going to spell trouble. These moves here, we have this little note here someone highlighted from JP Morgan. It reads, but those moves may be complicated if this is the beginning of a broader trend among similarly situated smaller nations. Do you smell it? Because I certainly do. As the World Economic Order starts to rattle, as the tabletop that everybody is playing on starts to shake, pieces fall off. You're getting some interest in adopting crypto, adopting Bitcoin. The established, I guess, central banking system can't have this. Again, people might not be allowed to gracefully exit. Everybody's expected to stay on board for whatever the machinations of the global central bankers have for us. No Bitcoin for you. All right. And finally, I have this little item here. I know I said I'm going to wrap. Let's see here. This one's about to do with the IRS. U.S. authorities are becoming seriously interested in crypto, making unreported crypto more dangerous. The IRS classifies crypto as property, meaning you can trigger taxes every time you use or buy crypto. You might be using it to pay for your Tesla electric car, for instance. This article does explain how, especially as an American, they will going to increasingly scrutinize your crypto transactions. So be a good citizen, lawfully report all of your crypto accounting as required. All right, I do have to wrap though, so let's get out of this segment and dive into the live chat. Let's see who's here with us before we head into the next segment. Let me just rejig the screen here. Was that enough FUD for you guys? Certainly hope so. Bob the Builder was here first, writing proud to be first. Well, happy Friday to you, Mr. Bob the Builder. Welcome to the show. Taz Blitz on DLive writing good evening all. Shout out to Taz Blitz. Mr. Ether writing, what's everyone doing this weekend? Same old, man. We're going to be probably watching some UFC on Saturday, getting out of the house a bit, enjoying this amazing weather. Got to fire up the grill, maybe make some steak. I don't know. How about you two? Any plans, gentlemen?
Still figuring out this Puerto Rico move.
Still figuring out the Puerto Rico move.
I let the lady tell me what to do, so it's always a surprise.
Or what's the sound? The whip. That's the one. Do as she says.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes. Let's continue. Ernest of Gaia. Oh yeah. All right. Shout outs to Mr. Ernest of Gaia. He says he's in Silicon Valley area looking for an artist to paint the Bitcoin and Ethereum symbol on his van. Any recommendations? No idea.
West
Ernest.
Coast.
Well, no, I think get in line, but Ernest the guy, I don't know, maybe check out Craigslist or the Facebook marketplace for local artists in your area that might be up to the job. That's my recommendation. I'm not sure where else you go to. Is there maybe there's a marketplace out there? Is there like the Fiverr of physical artists somewhere out there? Not too sure. Alex1233 writes, good evening all. Dark Rico says, hey all. Any word writes, AMP is now on Coinbase. AMP got listed on Coinbase. Maybe that's why we're seeing a trend today on the bubbles. Rokoth, R-H-O Koth, on DLive saying, hey guys. Okay, shout outs to Mr. Rokoff. Any word is here as well. Already mentioned him. Ward Bread on Twitch writes, Tether going crazy. Are they printing it? Are they burning it? What exactly with Tether is going crazy? Dave Rice writing, hey all. Shout outs to Dave Rice on YouTube. Ron Legato. Oh, never mind. We're good, apparently. The Splashy 85 writing, good evening, guys. Very good evening to the Splashy 85. Dave Rice. Mix it and roll a couple. It's a party weekend. Dave, why do I get the feeling every day is a party at Casa Rice?
His daughter's wedding this weekend, remember?
Yeah, but I mean, the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that, he had the same party.
Got a lot of daughters, dude.
He had the same party down, roll him up, smoke him if you got him attitude. Attaboy, Dave Rice. You know, next puff, take one from me. Ward Bread, Jason and the Ghosts. Well, I'm not sure who the Ghosts are, but yes, thank you, Ward Bread.
My ghost talking that keeps interrupting.
I understand. Ernest the Gaia, this weekend I'm finishing the development of my blockchain research company. Okay, very cool. Blockchain research company coming to you from the van. Gotcha. Any word? Armed robbers. I don't think it's a home invasion at Jason's front, but you never know. Jason, make sure you look over your shoulder occasionally. David Royce saying, not your keys, not your coins. Yeah, certainly not. But again, I can see how choice isn't a bad thing, and some people might be better served by keeping their Bitcoin with a custodian. I get it. Ernest the Guy, is there any place in Wyoming you can go to learn how to custody other people's crypto? Honestly, I think that's fraught with a lot of peril. If you're not like an established, financial institution or some type of custodian or storage thing, I'm not sure.
Starting that from scratch would be hard.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you would go about doing that, but it's certainly an interesting idea. You better have some epic vault and some epic infrastructure, decentralized infrastructure that might help you. Well, I mean, not decentralized completely, but something.
You better have been Richie Rich as a kid.
Yeah, that's actually what came to mind too. You want to be like Richie Rich with that epic vault in the mountain that you can maybe offer to store people's garbage in, but there you go. Dave Rice just means they can take when they want. Yeah, it's true. That's one of the caveats of depositing your crypto at a local bank. If you're a bad boy and a judge orders this shit to be seized, consider it gone. The bank will certainly they won't be they will not be so kind to you as if you were to hold it in your own custody. Let's have a look. Most of my friends can't custody their own crypto, says Ernest the Gaia. Yeah, a lot of people probably can't be trusted to custody a significant amount of money, but it's the same thing, right? Like, would you store $100,000 under your mattress at home? Would you store $250,000 in your shed somewhere? Maybe if you're Tony Soprano, but for most normies, yeah, you might be better served holding significant amounts of money, monetary wealth, in the bank, in the vault, in a bank's robust infrastructure, right? What are you going to provide besides maybe a home safe and a security system? Not a lot. Whereas I can imagine in the future, a lot of the banks will be clamoring to inform you about their, multi-million-dollar crypto facility that's insured, that's had, the entire thing blueprinted for maximum security. That's going to be tough to compete with for most people self-custodying crypto. It really is.
Especially like when quantum security comes around.
I think we're a long ways away from any kind of practical application of that stuff, but that's another topic for another day. Let's continue. Ron Legato says, I set a sweaty bear on a paper wallet. Maybe I should use a third party. Okay, not sure exactly what you're referring to.
Sweaty beer. He said he set a sweaty beer on a paper wallet.
Oh, sweaty beer. I don't know. I read that as bear. Yeah, all right. Maybe I should use it. Yes, indeed. Don't use your paper wallet as a coaster, I suppose. You ruined the keys, my man. Ernest the guy, they lose their phone every year. Indeed. I mean, yes, some people are just
I always swallow my paper wallet to keep it safe. That way nothing can happen to it.
You tattoo it on the inside of your eyelids? I'm not sure. They lose their phone every year. I mentioned that. I lost one too, but I still don't trust the bank, says David Rice. Okay. Ernest the Gaia. Cooperatives may want to custody crypto for their cooperative members. What if my REI rewards were HTC and I earned a yield on my rewards? I'd let REI custody my in-store rewards. BTC, not HTC. Great. Autocorrect is a bitch. Stay off your phones, guys. Use a keyboard. Partnered with Gemini. Yes, these are options. There's trusted names in the space that you might be inclined, you might be persuaded to deposit your crypto with. Let's see here. Revolution's with us today. Michael James on YouTube. Good to see you as well. Shout outs to Ron Legato, probably mentioned him. Chemasterist, or Ken Masterist. Alright, Mr. Ken Masters, he says, you still think we are in a bull market? I don't think the bull market's completely, it's been suspended for a little bit, but maybe we're in the corrective phase, right? In the macro scheme of things, we may still be in a year-long bull market, and right now we're just experiencing 4 to 8 to 12 weeks of a corrective phase in the bull market. Yes, I'm a perma-bull to a degree, and I'm of the thought that we're still going to see new all-time highs on Bitcoin by end of year. Maybe I'm going to be proven wrong. This FUD is getting real, so it's possible we might see some serious turmoil first. Please, oh please, Bitcoin gods, do not derail this train too early. Let's see here. Jason thinks things could wick down and get ugly. Certainly can. Do you think Ethereum 8K next year? Ken Masterist asks. 8K Ethereum next year? Maybe even this year if we do see. Indeed, realm of possibility. I know Chico Crypto certainly thinks Ethereum is going to go bonkers at some point, even overtake Bitcoin in terms of gains year over year. So we'll see. Van Frick on DLive. The words and white papers are bigger than it's 17. That's a flag of a bear market for me. All right, maybe. Let's see here. Make sure. Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. Yasaro Kaito Salam. All right. More Turks in the chat. Welcome, I suppose. Enjoy your stay while it's still here. Moblin, the government should bail out Bitcoin. I don't think it works that way. Moblin, why just tech companies? Well, tech companies do serve an important role for the establishment as of late. Moblin is with us. Revolution, I already mentioned. Nash Drift on Twitch. And is this everybody? Blackbird 987 running good evening. We got to get into the next segment, guys. Blackbird writing shorts on alts hitting great gains today. Well, I'm glad you're shorting these alts into the ground. Finally, B-Flow joins us, writing hola. And I'll roll one for you, says Ernest of Gaia. All right, Mr. Ether. Beer Martin, beer maybe, yes, he did mean beer. And B Stores, alt's about to die while Bitcoin goes up to 75K. I could only hope, but I don't think that's the case. I think if anything, it's just a delayed collapse on Bitcoin. Guys, hang on, it's going to be an ugly summer for Bitcoin and crypto heads everywhere. Try not to get completely shaken out. This might be a good opportunity to just enjoy the good weather, get out of the house, spend less time watching the terminals, come back in time for Q3, where I imagine the heat's gonna get turned up. Algo's doing fairly well, says Lay Lamb. Thanks you very much for that comment. But we have to get into the next segment, guys. It's what you're all here for, and that is, of course, the big TA, the big crypto analysis of, well, not just crypto markets, the wider space, including a look at the Dixie. I'm connecting to Alex's stream now. Very curious to see what's going on with the US dollar index. Let's hop in. Currently looking at the BTC US 4-hour Coinbase chart. So it looks like I'm connected and all synced up to Alex. We're good to go, guys. Let's have a look. I'm going to dive into the chat as always, guys. Start extracting your requests. So if you guys want to get some requests in for the request line, now is the time to drop them into the live chat. I'll collect those, and Alex will take you through the next segment. Alex, you with us? You ready to take it away?
No, I'm right here. You always talk for another 5 minutes after you introduce me, so I was just letting you go.
All right, I know. I have a habit of rambling on, but...
Yeah, I know. I'm just, like, we've been doing this for a long time. I was just letting you do your thing.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and take it away.
Okay. How's it going, guys? We're basically the definition of sideways right here on Bitcoin now. We've continued to kind of consolidate here around our point of control with a dip down into liquidity right here. It could still kind of go either way. On lower time frames here, we do seem to have held perhaps the bottom of the triangle with a break of the lower time frame downtrend. It's not a guarantee. We could come up, we break the trend, we come up here, we retest, and then, we continue downwards. It's a lower time frame trend. But there's a little touch of hope here for Bitcoin, at least, I think. As you guys know, my contention is that Bitcoin is going to begin doing a little better than alts. It has been slowly for the last few weeks. It's traded sideways against the alts, and now it's beginning to make some gains. We'll pop over. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. Oof. There we go. Yep, Bitcoin dominance continues rising ever since we kind of bottomed out over here in the lower 40s. This is what we've been kind of expecting to happen. It's gratifying to see it. At this point, let's go ahead and look at a higher time frame here. In the midterm, I think 50% is a good place to be targeting. So here we see this area's support, resistance, kind of support. No reaction right here, just burst right through it. I think we should at least come up and retest this entire area, 50%, 52%, just to see what happens. So I expect more money to flow into Bitcoin than into the alts. Not every alt, mind you. Obviously, we're going to have some that diverge for their various regions, like AMP, such as chili cheese. All right, so this is all kind of jiving with what we've been expecting here. Let's head on back over to Ethereum. Now, we're in an Ethereum short, have been since we got in right here. So we're in profit, just barely. We're in a few percents here. it doesn't look very good. I will say that. What's the 3-day look like? We're just starting to get a 3-day cross under here, which is very ugly. I would say if we close below, let's say 23.75 on the 3-day here, that would probably be a sign to me that we're going to fall all the rest of the way down to like 1950 area. What you can see here is kind of like this trading range right here. You know, there's a trading range here. There's a trading range up here. There's a trading range here. So this makes a kind of sense. We've been eyeing this area on a couple different markets. We see there's some nice volume here at 2000, down here at 1950 on Bitfinex. Similar volume we see over here on BitMEX, down here 2100, 1950. And on Binance, a little bit less prominent, but still there, right here at 2100 and 1950. So, well, 1930. But really, these markets are all telling us there is some liquidity below us. I'm still shocked that we have not come up here and retested this area. But for now, things are bearish. We've got, everything is screaming at us to stay short. The only thing that, might give us a little bit of pause is there's not a lot of volume here. The sellers have not really stepped in hard yet, but
when they do, they do.
Yeah, volume comes first, and then the price will follow. So we might not get that warning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head back on over here to the alt markets. A Dragon Perp hanging out right at support. It looks rough, but you gotta admit, sellers have been very gentle here. Pushing down a little bit, we're above our baseline. Maybe we could still come up and peg the 6,000 area. Things look very bearish right now. I must say. But it's always true that things look most bearish right before they begin to turn around. Yep. Things get super vertical, and then we kind of level off, right? That's how they say it. We get vertically up, we level off, and then here we are. We kind of find our way back to the average, and then continue our move in another direction. DeFi perp looks super bad here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't have this marked out, but now that I'm looking at it, I really like this volume level right here. It's kind of interesting looking. Okay, so consolidation here, tagged here for liquidity. I think I might like to see us come down in here, trade sideways in this area a little bit. It's really here or here. These are like our two options. This area down here. Hell, maybe the actual consolidation itself. Right there. Yeah. If we can move up, then I like this area right here. Resistance. Really, this whole area is resistance. Even here, resistance here. So I like that level.
Uh-oh. Sign of the fan. It's about to happen.
Oh, is the market dumping? You hearing it?
We just heard it just now, so I don't know. We'll see.
On lower time frames, we're putting in some interesting moves here. I would love it if we could find some support in this area. It looks bad. It does look bad. So see, resistance here, fake out, more resistance at this level. Resistance, support. So this area is very strong resistance level. I would not be surprised to see us come back down and retest this area if we're going to stay in this trading range. Yeah, alts look rough in this spot. But Bitcoin looks much better. Or at least it's holding up much better. And I expect it to continue to do so. As a matter of fact, we can continue to dump and stay above the baseline for a while. We can dump into 31K again and again, several times.
Yep.
I would really be surprised to see us come above the daily baseline like this and not do something like move up, slap this area before coming down more. But we're not above that on the CME yet.
Yeah.
CME chart being over here. So, no, well, we are for me. We're just getting above the daily baseline on the whole 60. Not along yet, though. Of course, I don't take trades off the CME chart because we don't take the CME. We don't trade the CME chart. I take it off of the standard Bitcoin chart. So it's not quite there yet on CME, but we're crossing it.
It's like getting the go time right about now, right? And I don't like that going into a weekend, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, you'll know on Monday whether or not it's time to unhedge.
Right? It's gonna, at least it gives me a good time frame.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as Jason and Jack have kind of alluded to, when we were getting ready for the show, I said that the real chart today that's important. The real chart is the Dixie, what the Dixie's doing. So let's go ahead and look at that.
Get to the dollar.
Oof. Just oof.
That's a big candle for the Dixie.
Yeah. So the dollar's up over 0.5% today. Against the world, I guess you could say. The dollar's up 0.5% against the world. Any time frame you look at this, it looks strong right now. We do seem to have found support here. There was a little bit of mincing earlier in the week about maybe we can still move down here. Maybe we're finding some resistance here. There's a little bit of support here. Maybe there's resistance. Gone. Done. That is over with. This feels confirmed. So if the dollar is moving up like this, then that must mean that. And look at the weekly right here. Ugh. Yeah. And this closes in 5 hours. This is a done deal. This is a done deal. Weekly baseline bounce. Time transformation crossed up, finding support on our weekly support level. This is super bullish, right? This is something that you would want along. This is a beautiful reversal long. You set your stop on the other side of this. What can we do? Let's take the dollar as far as it can go. So if the dollar is super strongly up today, then we should see some damage in traditional markets, right? That's what we contend on the show. Dollar being inversely correlated to everything, right? So we can look at the dollar and get a sense of what the rest of the market's doing. So what are traditionals doing? Dollar is telling us they should be down. Dow Jones is down.
Gonna follow that perfectly, I'm telling you.
Yep. So crossing back below the daily baseline. Today we did gap up and then just traded down all day long. That's what we've been doing all week long. Gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down. Here we just gap down. Gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down. This looks really rough. I was expecting a little bit more damage on the markets, but it's not fantastic looking. Lower time frames at least are showing a little bit of a bounce here. It could just be trying to sidle back up to resistance. What if we're forming like something like this? Maybe. Well, let's keep our eyes on this. On the daily, it doesn't look like much of a consolidation or much of a symmetrical. It looks more like no, it's still symmetrical here. Okay, all right. All right, so let's say this is a valid pattern. What would a measured move of this give us in either direction? Let's see either direction. Okay. So if we broke up, we'd be looking for this level. Why did my horizontal line change? Interesting. Maybe I should change it to that blue. That's kind of a nice looking blue.
Like
I'm gonna think about it. All right, and then if we broke down, where would that take us to? Roughly the area that we've been targeting. Okay. It's very interesting. All right, so Dow is down. NASDAQ, kind of up. Potentially bullish here. Well, right now we're just trading inside of resistance. I wouldn't want to do much with it. But this does not look as bad as I was expecting, considering the dollar. And S&P 500, gap up, trades down, unable to retake yesterday's all-time high. Interesting. But still, ultimately, not really bearish, because we're still over this resistance level. This is interesting. It's kind of a mixed bag on the market. The Dow Jones, that looks like crap. But the NASDAQ and the SPY, they look as if they could continue here. Does that mean tech stocks could continue here? Because that's really, NASDAQ is mostly composed of tech stocks. S&P is just the top 500 by market cap or what have you. So a lot of those are tech stocks in the SPY, and then the Dow doesn't have that. Dow Jones is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So these are all like heavy industries, blue chip stocks. So we're seeing a little bit of divergence there. Russell 2000 is having an update. Interestingly, we seem to be finding a little bit of support right here. Okay, it looks like this is my new horizontal line, guys, apparently. I don't know why. Let us know if you like the blue or the dotted yellow more. Is it more?
Yellow's more visible.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
I have to look at the Discord screen, so it's not the same, but let me see.
Okay, it just
yellow's more visible.
Yeah. It doesn't want me to use this one. Can I keep it? No. Okay, I don't understand that. But anyway, the US Russell 2000 here could potentially continue. It's not bad looking. I still want to close the week over 2360. Interestingly, bonds are down today. So you can see we kind of came up here and pegged resistance. Boom. With my new horizontal line that you can see, or maybe can't see. 2-year down. A 10-year, I'm not sure where it's finding this resistance from, but it's just I guess, interestingly, the dollar is the dollar inversely correlated with bonds? I'll have to look more into that. If the dollar is inversely correlated with equities, then it should be positively correlated with bonds, because bonds are inversely correlated with equities also. But, I don't know, guys. It's all chaos theory. We'll figure it out, maybe. Netherlands economy still going strong. This is a full breakout. No question now. I would want to take this for a retest of the top line here. Like this resistance line right here. Wow, really? It seems crazy, but I mean, it makes the most sense. This is a kind of a ascending, broadening wedge pattern. If you guys want to look that up, looks kind of like a loudspeaker. And still sideways. India maybe still at resistance here. Not giving us a signal yet. Wow. I think the UK is going for it. We're going to break out today. That looks pretty strong to me. Jason, I think I'm getting feedback from you.
Yeah.
You check your gain or whatnot?
Yeah, up your gate a little bit, Jason. A lot of our voices come through your thing, and we got to get you guys permanent headsets.
Alright, so this makes sense. Support here, boom, 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 boom. We got resistance here, and here we are breaking it. I like it.
Is that better?
Australia still going for it. That's a continuation signal. Oil is going for it. That's a breakout. We couldn't be sure here, but now we can be fairly certain. All right, well, if we're going to break above the $70 range, where's our next resistance? Okay, so I see some resistance nearby here around $75. That's in from here. Let's look at a higher time frame. We need to use a higher time frame here. All right, so actually we're breaking over this weekly level right now. We should be closing this 72.40-ish. Okay. I guess we should be really looking around $80 for the next full resistance level. 80 and then 85. Platinum continuing to fall. We're still aiming for $1,000. Palladium trading sideways. Nothing much to do here. We're going to keep our eyes on this potential break. Silver still trading sideways underneath the point of underneath our daily baseline. Overall bearish. Gold. There we go. Breaking the downtrend. Gold short time. Very nice. I would classify this as a continuation signal. Here we're breaking below, but we don't get an initial long signal because we're not below zero. We pop back up. We curl up here. Ooh, and then boom.
Go figure with the dollar surging.
Yeah, exactly. With the dollar surging, here we see it pushing against gold, and we're getting a breakdown here. So this would suggest that the dollar could surge more, because gold certainly is likely to be trading down in the near to midterm. And we were looking at this. We were prepared for a gold bounce. I was prepared to eat my words and be wrong about needing to sell at this resistance level up here, but here we are breaking down after all. It just goes to show you it's really hard to keep conviction in your TA over the span of many days and weeks. You know, a lot happens. The chart changes, and you're never like 100% right. Best case scenario, you're like 75% right about how things go. And once things start not going according to your plan, you're like, well, maybe the whole plan was just wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong about this thing turning around here. I'm wrong all the time when I trade the markets. It's really hard to know when it's time to, eat your pride, take your losses, and walk away. And when just, you just gotta wait for the market to catch up to what you already know.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Fantastic. So true. So true. Stick to the rivers and the streams that you're used to.
I like the Weird Al Yankovic version. Don't go making phony calls.
Interestingly, Bitcoin does appear to be bouncing. We're getting some more movement upwards in this spot. Can see this line right here. I think I had it drawn here. Maybe I deleted it. We do seem to be finding some support here on one of our dynamic support and resistance levels. If we break down here, I do see 28K. Yeah, this is interesting. Bitcoin just kind of looks the best in this spot. I mean, it doesn't look good yet, but it certainly looks better than everything else does. Yeah, too soon to say even on lower time frames. All right, tell you guys what. I think that, well, actually no, I want to look at Forex real quick because the dollar is doing stuff. All right, if the dollar is doing stuff, then for those of you who are interested in Forex, I have a couple Forex trades on at this time. Then you might be interested in seeing what these markets are doing. So, of course, we know the dollar is rising. Let's take a look at the USD markets. USD JPY. If you look on a high time frame, I think it's pretty clear that the dollar has a lot of room to move up against the yen. And we see this 5-year long downtrend recently broken. We consolidate at the local point of control. Say we break up. The USD Rand. That's right. We're finally breaking out against the Chinese Rand. So I am long the dollar. I took a USD CAD long yesterday. Here's a nice longer time frame look of the USD CAD. So here we've got just a very orderly long-term downtrend of a year of the dollar against the Canadian dollar. But here we are finding some support inside of the liquidity of this wick right here. So it starts to look like, oh, we break down. We're finally breaking down over this long-term support level. People sell into this area. but it's a trap. Sell, 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 sell. Pop, back up. And, we see the US dollar moving up against things on every chart. Here's the US dollar versus the Swissy. So here we had very strong long-term support, form an inverse head and shoulders here. We come up, we'll trade back down to this support area, and we trade sideways outside of our downtrend. And now today, the dollar making bullish movements. Certainly looks like a good place to be long the dollar, right?
Mhm.
All right. New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Certainly seems like a good time to be short the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, right? This is actually a very nice looking short trade right here. British pound versus the US dollar. Not as bad looking, but it certainly appears as if we've been rejected from resistance here, right?
Sure.
So-
Seems that way.
Boom. We come up here into this resistance level, we trade down, and we push up into it and trade sideways right at resistance before slowly starting to wilt.
Damn, that looks good.
Yeah, this is the British pound versus the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar is weak anyway. Yeah, this is a good long trade right here. So you could take the New Zealand dollar against the dollar, or you could take the British pound against the New Zealand dollar. Both those are going to be strong because the New Zealand dollar is looking weak right now. New Zealand dollar, New Zealand dollar, New Zealand dollar. Yeah. Here's the euro versus the US dollar. Just boom, right off a cliff. Here you can see a broken uptrend. We come back up, kind of retest resistance, just can't hold it this week. Fall down. And the euro USD makes up about 50% of the weight of the Dixie, because the Dixie is created by taking like a basket of different US dollar paired markets and then subtracting out the non-US dollar parts. It's like the US dollar Canadian versus the Canadian Swissy versus the Swissy USD. You can kind of subtract out the parts that are not US dollar related, and then you get the Dixie. That's how they calculate it. And so, but what happens on the euro is like at least 50% of what shows up on the Dixie here. Because of that.
Get with the dollar.
All right.
Chart requests.
You want to get into chart requests, or you want to knock out a few more FX?
I think I said what needed to be said. The dollar looks strong here, and that's bad for us.
Arnold would certainly concur with you right now. All right. I think it's time to proceed. Let's get into it. I'm gonna quickly rejig the screen here, hide the graphic. Let's reveal today's first request. All right, here we go. First request comes from AnyWord on DLive. He mentions AMP is the new coin on Coinbase. Yes, got listed. Let's review AMP. It was one of the top, I think the very top gainer today on Bubbles. Perfect opportunity to review AMP.
Looks pretty strong. We have any older AMP stuff? Yeah, there we go.
There's that resistance.
Fucking horizontal line. One moment.
1 second.
Where?
Alt H, big guy.
All right. Well, our new horizontal lines are blue. Okay, guys.
Yay.
I could live with it.
I just wouldn't do much with it right here at resistance. If we can break above, we can close above 8.5, 9 cents on the weekly. Then I think you could take this to higher highs. But for right now, we really run the risk of just this being a fake out. You see, even on the daily, we're not really above resistance right here. So I wouldn't do anything with it. What's next?
All right. Glad we could review one of the top alts of the day. Good advice on, of course, not longing into resistance, but something to keep an eye on, especially as the weekly candle comes to a close. In the meantime, let's hop into this one. Yazaro Kato wants to take a look at SHIB. Let's throw this man a bone and put the SHIB pup up.
Put the SHIB pup up.
It looks bad.
Yeah, that looks real bad. That's kind of what I'm expecting from the weekly right now on Bitcoin.
Yep. You can see on the 3-day, we've recently broken below support. I wouldn't do anything with it, man. Wait until we actually bounce.
Yep.
Or if you're stuck in it, then I'm sorry. You should
Get out.
Probably not be in it.
Too much downside exposure.
What's next?
All right, there is your look at SHIB. It's good to check in with the meme coins that are certainly wilting on the vine right now. But in the meantime, let's take a look at B Store's request. He says, alts about to die while Bitcoin goes to 75K. All right, this is more of a comment I wanted to highlight, but maybe an opportunity. Could we take a quick glance at the BTC dominance chart? I know we can't quite predict the future.
Bro, that's like the second thing I looked at.
All right, he already looked at the dominance chart. In that case, I do appreciate the comment. Is alts about to die and Bitcoin to go to 75K? No, I got a feeling everything is going to take a tumble down. But the Bitcoin maxi in me would love to see alts take a big tumble and Bitcoin really take charge here. With that said, let's get into the next request. Lay Lamb on YouTube. ALGO is doing fairly well. Let's check in on ALGO.
Just kind of hanging out sideways, unfortunately. This is, I don't know, I'm almost ready to dump this. We haven't really made it above this resistance area that we've been eyeing. We just don't have an exit signal either. So I'm just going to leave it. Fucking horizontal line. Yeah, I would not do anything with this if I were you right now. We do seem to have. I took this because it was clear that we had broken the uptrend here, or the downtrend, but it really seems to have been a fake out. Well, at this point, if we can close anywhere above like $1.10, then we're probably good all the way back up to retest the highs, or at least point of control, like $1.30, $1.50. What's next?
All right, there is a review of ALGO. Thank you for that one. We are about 14 minutes to go for the chest opening on DLive. So stand by, DLive users. Get your lemons in because 100% of all proceeds go right back in that chest. We're going to hit you with a big one today. Your boy Jack has got the keys to the lemon chest, and I'm going to make it rain on you fools this Friday afternoon. In the meantime, Van Frick on DLive says, I'm always curious about Cardano and also what's Alex's take on Nebula as well. Okay, let's look at Cardano first.
I should have taken a short on this a couple days ago. It looks rough. It looked bad yesterday. It looks worse today. Don't be in it. What's next?
All right. He also wanted to hear about Nebula and EBL. He asks, is your take on NEBL still intact? All right. So probably referencing your thoughts on NEBL from earlier. Maybe you can recall what your last take on it was. You already got some existing drawings on here, but let's recap. Let's review what you think about NEBL given the current chart.
NEBL.
I would probably be looking to get out near $2.50, $2.75. And then have this come down and actually retest like $1, maybe 90, 80 cents all the way down here. So we come up here and then we break down with the rest of the market. NEBL will do what the rest of the market does. What's next?
All right, big shout outs to Rhino and TD and Mr. Ether, both throwing down the diamonds on DLive. Thank you very much, guys. 100 lemons a piece goes a long way. Thank you so much for that. I see people storming in with lemons. Taz Blitz, Crypto Bull, Rhino TD, Ears Up. Tricon 32. Everybody's throwing lemons in the pot today. I do appreciate that, guys. Baby. It does help get these lemons out to everyone else. In the meantime, let's look at this next request. Rhino TD wants to look at BNB.
Nothing really that we can do with it. It's not a long right now, and it's not a short while we're above the daily baseline. Yeah, it's just sideways. I wouldn't do anything with this right now. Just literally hanging out right at this point of control. Price loves that point of control. Yeah, it's just still consolidating. We don't have a clear sense of direction yet. My hope is that the rest of the market can follow what we just saw NEBL doing and moving back up towards this resistance level to retest it before we move down. We are still kind of at support. Yeah, just don't do anything with Binance right now, but it's not necessarily bearish at this time. What's next?
All right, gentlemen, that is your look at BNB. Thank you very much to Mr. Rhino TD for that one. Also, big shout outs to Mr. Ether. He just threw another diamond in a pot, and the lemons and ice creams are flowing forth. I do appreciate it. All the donations, guys. I am going to be dumping that right back into the giveaway today. Stand by. In the meantime, Lay Lamb asks, why do you think the Mirror Protocol has lost momentum? Well, we can't really speak on fundamentals or what might actually underlie some of these moves, but
I don't know if you've noticed, but the entire market's down.
But could
we bearish on everything?
Is Mirror Protocol MIR on Uniswap? Is that the Mirror Protocol I'm thinking of? Any chance you could pull that up just to see is there something unusually catastrophic going on the mirror chart to merit such a question?
No, looks like every other chart right now.
No good.
Yeah, Mirror Protocol.
Especially it looks like most Uniswap coins.
Down.
Honestly, it could be way worse.
Could be, yeah.
You're only down 65% from the highs. Mirror just doesn't look especially bad to me. I would, clearly it's a project that you like. I would kind of zoom out and take a look at the broader market. And do you really think that Mirror so much worse than everything else is, or maybe just doing what the rest of the market's doing. What's next?
All right, there is your look at mirror. Thank you, Lay Lamb, for that one. Let's see here. A couple comments coming in. Yes, Mr. Ether certainly throwing down. Could you guys take? All right, I will certainly look at that in a little bit, but we are about 7 minutes to go for the lemon chest. Hang tight. In the meantime, here's the next request. Splashy85 on Twitch writes XRP and XLM, please.
Well, on lower time frames, kind of like Bitcoin, there could be a nice long scalp here. That's my line when you zoom out. It's a very small movement. Do nothing with it. Right now we're in the no trade zone. We could still come down here and peg 70 cents again. Yeah, just don't do anything with it right now. And hopefully soon, if we start to break up, then it'll be a nice long. Yeah, okay. It's a little questionable. Yeah, just overall, I don't think there's any reason to rush into XRP here yet. What's next?
How about a brief look at XLM while we're at it?
Still a choice. Looks bad.
XLM is worse looking.
Mm-hmm.
So here you see us support, break, resistance, and now we're down again. So we could continue to move down to 25 cents here. Well, of course, Alex of the past has 20 cents marked out. So why did he do that? Why did you do that, Alex of the past? Oh, because this is our weekly
Trend.
Yeah, this is our weekly uptrend. That brilliant man. He sees so many things, so wise.
Wise.
Yeah, I think this is probably still a location we should be targeting. I mean, the best case scenario would be we actually land around 25 cents and then just trade sideways for a few weeks. But we could get as low as 20 cents, and then we could, maybe get our bounce a little bit sooner. We got to retest this trend, at the very least. And you can see on, I don't use this often, but on the 2 week. So let's kind of average this even more. Here you see we've got support here, support. We break down, resistance, and then break below that support. So there's just no reason for us to want to be in XLM right now for long. At least on any of the higher time frames. There could be some scalps available.
See, I think the one thing that's guaranteed is volatility.
Yeah, unlike XRP and Bitcoin, this isn't even starting to break up out of anything. So yeah, I would remain cautious here. What's next?
All right, well, there is the look at XRP XLM pairs. Thank you very much. Let's get into this next request. FYI, the chest opens in about 3.5 minutes. Stand by for that. In the meantime, here's the next request. Boris Bitcoin. All right, he asked for the Dow Jones for a short, but you already looked at the Dow Jones. So, Chili's for a long, he asks. Would you long Chili's, Alex?
Yeah. Well, as you probably heard me say earlier, yeah, I agree. The Dow Jones looks like a short. Chili's that looked kind of like a long. Let me go back to where we were.
12-hour looks kind of nice. Looks like a 3-bar play on a break. So far.
This is the break above resistance here, I think.
What's going on with Chili's, man? What's the news? I don't know.
No, this is just kind of what I would like to see on all the alts. See, we push down here, we push down again, and then buyers just pick this up much more rapidly. This is still what I would like to see happen on, on all the alts.
Everything, yeah.
Particularly the ones we're in.
Mm-hmm. It's been a rough ride this month.
Yeah, I think with this break of the downtrend, I would be looking to take this probably back towards the point of control. I do see a little resistance from like 38 cents.
This reminds me of what Kusama looked like, I think.
No, Kusama was even more bullish. Kusama stayed in its trading range, or went back into its trading range.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Kusama, unfortunately, we longed this right here. It was a long on my system, and here, as you can see, we're getting totally counterfeited, and now we're about to get a bearish divergence exit signal. So we'll be out. Lower high. What can you do? What's next?
All right, well, there was an extended look at Chili's, and let me check the time here. I just deposited the lemons in the chest. Yeah, we got about a minute to go for the big chest delivery of lemons. Let's introduce the next request in the meantime. Red Blood Cells on Twitch writes, can we look at the ADA Bitcoin pairing?
Yeah, all right. If I recall correctly, it looked like utter shit last time we looked at it. Okay, yeah. It still looks like utter shit, man. What's next?
That was quick and to the point.
Yeah, it hasn't changed at all. It looks so bad. It's been at resistance for days. It broke down. Get out. What's next?
Getting wrecked. Head to the Bitcoin shelters, everyone. Apparently, alts are going down in a big way. Let me check the time. 20 seconds to go to open the chest. So basically, by the time you hear me say 20 seconds just now, it'll probably be appearing on your screen. Here we go. 10 seconds to go, and I'm clicking the distribution. Here we go. Clock is about to strike 2:45. Boom. Distributing.
Get your lemons.
Get your filthy hands on these lemons, yo.
You filthy animal. You could use the citrus.
All right, well, distributing, and I wish everyone best of luck on the lemon giveaway this Friday afternoon here at the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Nobody does lemon giveaways quite like us on YouTube, or well, DLive I should say, but yes, one day maybe we'll have lemons on the other platforms. All right, before we continue into the next request, I'm just going to quickly shout out today's big winners. Who do we have here? Let's put them on screen.
Damn.
Rhino TD came in first. Big shout outs to Rhino TD collecting
351.
Yeah, 351.
That's worth Lambo, I think.
That's solid. We have Mr. Ether with 202 lemons. Shout outs, Mr. Ether. At the very least, you could get your diamonds back. Any Word with 146 lemons. Revolution with 116. And Taz Blitz with 97 lemons. Guys, I thank you so much for your contributions. I'm glad everybody got their lemons in. It was a big giveaway. Nearly 1,500 lemons in total today. Love it. In the meantime, here's the next request. Comes from B Stores on YouTube. He writes, could you take a look at ICX Bitcoin pairing?
Yes, I can.
If anyone's looking for a sub, I'm gifting one out right now.
And it looks like everything else except worse. Yeah, I don't see any reason to want to be in Icon right now. We could just be retesting this liquidity down here, and if that is true, if we start to green off of this level, I would definitely take that long. But right now, as it looks right this second, there's no reason to enter into it because we could just break below this level and keep going down towards towards like 60 cents or so, or maybe the point of control at 75 cents. So yeah, just wait for some kind of confirmation of an upwards movement, and then you could totally take that as a continuation long signal right here, and I think it'll be good up towards at least $1.50, maybe even $1.85. What's next?
All right, thank you for the look at Icon. Let's dive into this next request. Polly B on DLive wants to look at FXF. So there's Fox and Fin. What's this relate to?
Fox and Fin.
Sphinx Flow.
Sphinx Flow. Ah, yes, Sphinx Flow.
Good old Sphinx Flow.
Top trading pair, obviously, on Uniswap.
I don't see any reason why we would want to be in this. It doesn't look that special, and we don't have a lot of data to work with either. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would just I'd be pretty cautious here. There's maybe some support at this level. If we started to move up, you could at least take it towards 75 cents. That'd be a nice movement. But I would be cautious of this resistance level. Resistance, support, support, support. Go up here, peg it again as resistance, and then probably more sideways. Other than that, I can't help you much. Not a lot of data. What's next?
All right, there's your look at FXF. I saw a lot of people got their lemons. Some managed to miss it. Somebody was eating a sandwich.
Oh, my friend, you could be eating lemons instead.
Yeah. You know, just a note, you know, do pause, do put your lunch down when you're expecting the lemons to be dispersed. You don't want to get caught sleeping at the lunchroom table when the lemons are coming out, do you?
You don't want to miss the dispersal.
Yes, you know, just of course a reminder, guys, keep your eye on the clock. I generally do try to aim at, you know, 1 hour, 45 minutes into the show, so 2 o'clock, 2:45 p.m. my time. So generally, even if you're not in sync with the stream, do remember
every 45 minutes check in.
Yeah, hour 45 minutes into the show, I generally open the chest. So there's always that bit of timing that might help you set a reminder too. In the meantime, let's get into the next request. Gentleman here by the name of Philip Kruger says, can you check XRP, please? You know, we just looked at XRP maybe 10-15 minutes ago. Philly Kruger, if you want to rewind the YouTube stream 10 minutes or so, you'll see that we looked at XRP. You might find what you're looking for in there. If not, be sure to follow and subscribe. Watch the show after it ends. Watch the replay on video on demand on YouTube. We're also going to add a bunch of timestamps in there, so it'll be very easy for you to click and navigate to the exact moment in the stream where we cover some of your favorite alts. In the meantime, let's get into the next request. This is Monero for Revolution in the DLive chat, XMR.
Whoa.
It certainly looks like I may be wrong here. At this time, I would be really cautious of XMR. We do appear to have rejected from this kind of resistance level area again. So resistance here, kind of resistance here, kind of resistance. We don't quite reach it, but there we go. On 12-hour. This is still pretty rough looking. Yeah, I think I'd be looking to take XMR at least back towards $200 at this point. This 12-hour candle is pretty troubling right here. This is a real reversal candle.
Yeah, it's a hard rejection.
Yeah, wait for some kind of continuation long signal. We are above the daily baseline. If we can stay there, then why not? Why not wait and then not have to take any losses if you can avoid it?
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Alrighty, here we go. We are in the home stretch now. Let's see what still remains on the board. Philip Kruger says, thank you. I was a little late today. No problem at all. And Zombieologist on Twitch joins us as well. Shoutouts to my man Zombie. Let's get into the next request. We have Link. Link is one of the final requests of the day. Rolo Maximus, can you gents take a look at Link? Sure we can.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks. That.
It looks bad. I'd be looking for $20 and $16.50. And then this would be like, so this is like a very equivalent area to Ethereum. How we're looking for this area and this area on Ethereum. Right here, boom and boom. You see it right on over our VPVR. Here and down here in the wick. And so we see that too over here on Link USDT, which is suggestive that the whole market, alt market, will move together towards these areas. See? Right here, this bottom, right there, down here in the wick, right here. And so then perhaps alts just won't bounce until we actually peg that liquidity in those areas. Bitcoin, though, still showing some lower time frame strength, or at least a lot more lower time frame strength than the alts are showing. What's next?
All right, well, there is your look at Link. Let me get this meme generated here. We only got one final request left, and it's something obscure. It looks like the user came in here just to shill their favorite shitcoin of choice. So let's bring it up and see what the hell this coin is. It's coming from Finesse on YouTube. You better sub us for at least this much. CATBREAD. Consolidating right now and preparing to launch, he says. Well, that looks shilly as hell, but this CATBREAD thing has caught my attention. What in the hell is CATBREAD? Why are we looking at this? Because we only got one request left and still 5 minutes in the show. I'm just curious. Let's see your CATBREAD coin. What the hell is CATBREAD? Oh, my mistake. Sorry. The ticker is CATBREAD. One word. CATBREAD. It's a BSC token. You're gonna need that Metamorphosis Chartex.
Okay.
And look up something by the name of CATBREAD on BSC.
There's nothing.
Yeah, it is
freshly launched and shilled here live on CC. I like it.
I guess I would be pretty cautious about about meme tokens in this market right now. Maybe it could keep going up, but most likely these people are just getting dumped on, and then we'll trade sideways for quite a while. What's next? Oh, look at Bitcoin go.
Look at Bitcoin go. Currently 37.1 and popping off live on the stream. That was basically last.
Very low. That's very low time frames, guys.
Posting some good move right now live on the stream. What else?
Seems like a lot of things are turning around on lower time frames, right?
Yep. Have a zombie-inspired meme just here for Zoomologist on the live chat. Jason, this one's for you too.
What is?
The zombie-inspired meme we have on the screen is just for you.
Good. Well, it's not the best month in the world to be saying that, but historically,
yeah, they're still clamoring for their gains, which
just give me those gains.
happily rhymes with brains. So it's kind of a good play. I think it's a good play. Bitcoin $37,130 and climbing. Let's read a couple of comments here. Tricon32 says that is horrible. Cats shouldn't eat bread. And also writes, or is it a bread made out of cats? Yes, this is a good question. Is this a bread intended for cats?
You You know how cats kind of like look like a loaf of bread sometimes?
No.
Yes.
Nope. I don't know that.
It's
Take a look at a brown cat, and it looks kind of loafy. You'll see.
They look loafy.
I can totally see it. In this case, I believe it's yes, it's a bread-shaped cat in this particular matter. But guys, it's Friday, so how else do you want to wind things down if not in a lighthearted way where we discuss you know, gluten and non-gluten-free cat bread? There you go. Thank you to Finesse for coming through, shilling cat bread for us. If anybody decides to buy this utter BSC shitcoin, do let us know. Curious what catbread.club. Let's see here. In fact, I'm gonna pull this up on screen. Let me see here. Let's go to not this one. Let's go over here, and here we go. Here's a look at the CATBREAD website. Let's reset this transformation. And all right, gentlemen, I bring you catbread.club. Let's get baked. Reads the website. CATBREAD is the first NFT arcade, and it's fresh out of the oven. Play classic arcade games and win NFTs. Follow the breadcrumbs. Every time that someone sells or buys cat bread, you get their tasty crumbs. Soon you'll have an entire cat bread and more. Alright, here's the ingredients. Sugar, flour, yeast, and salt, which are meant to represent 5% distribution to hodlers. The flour is locked liquidity. An aromatic liquidity providing yeast. Interesting. And finally, community driven salt. Yes, pour a little salt on top. How to buy CATBREAD. Download the Trust wallet. Get some BNB or BSC. Hop on PancakeSwap. And
Do you not fill this meme? Like, we don't need to direct people on how to download what may be like a rug pull project.
I think that you might be right, but at the same time, I think anybody who's still sticking in the closing minutes of the show, I think is a little more savvy than that, guys. I think at this point...
This is not a recommendation from us. As a matter of fact, I de-recommend CATBREAD to you.
Yeah.
If it wasn't clear enough, yes, guys, this is not something we would be advocating and buying. But it goes to show you, you know, if you do want to pull, you know, develop your own rug pull token, might want to feature some gimmicky website just like this, guys. So here is your look at CATBREAD. I certainly hope the CATBREAD team sends us a huge stash of CATBREAD tokens for this inadvertent shilling that we did of this shitcoin. There you have it, guys. That's just how the show winds down as the clock strikes 3 o'clock here. Perfect time to wind things down. Blackbird says, LMAO, this might be a scam. Gee, you don't think, right? How many food tokens? This is actually a nice mishmash of it's hybridizing. It's of the original.
Yeah, it's like food and animals.
Food and meme animals. I mean, how you?
They totally missed an opportunity for safe CATBREAD.
Safe CATBREAD.
Safe CATBREAD, yeah.
Once they pull
that'll be the next one. That'll be V2.
Once the liquidity, once that locked liquidity gets rugged, you might very well find it, you know, seeding the liquidity over at Safe CATBREAD 2. Let's have a look. Blackbird, yeah, it might be a scam. You think? Royal Maximus LMFAO, a lot of lulls in the chat. Most cryptos feel like scams, yes, and this one exceptionally so. Blackbird 987, D recommended by Alex from the past. Will future Alex teleport into the present and let us know that we're completely wrong on CATBREAD? I await your time portal to open any second, Alex. Tricon 32.
Sorry, CATBREAD is only half baked.
Tricon 32, there is 9,000 of them. Caveat emptor, yes, some kind of caveat. Rolo Maximus makes me crave pastry. Sure, just you know, buy yourself a donut from Dunkin', bro. Don't go wasting your money on CATBREAD. Blackbird 987 says there's more than 9,000 in the supply. Just bought a loaf, says Tablets. Well, you've been wrecked. Rest in peace to Taz Blitz. Not sure anybody would have recommended that. Roll Maximus says this is what's...
Oh, you bought in and you got wrecked. I'm really sorry, man. That happens. You're probably new to crypto. This happens all the time where something pumps on listing, and people are excited. But there's really only excitement to last a couple of days, and then the people who wanted to buy it, who were waiting for listing, bought it, right?
Yep.
And then the people who had the initial supply, who who created the token, they dump on it. It's very common.
It certainly is. Although I think he was joking, to be honest. I think he just meant he bought it alone for now after our endorsement, after our stellar endorsement on the show. Taz Blitz, sorry if we led you astray.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
That's a good line. That goes with so many.
Still in jail.
Yep. Let's see here. It's classified as a pastry coin. All right, we have a new era of pastry coins dawning on the space, guys. Mr. Ether, cats are definitely food and animals' rights. Okay. Blackbird 987, safe cat moon bread. Yes, that's kind of what we're talking about. Polly B, LOL, Mr. Ether, and J Hope. Is this a safe moon cat? It's a cat, and I'm not sure if it's safe. Is it mooning? No. J Hope. Shout outs to you. Ron Legato, I'd rather have a cat croissant. Well, we know what we're going to be following up the CATBREAD with. It's going to be cat croissant token next, gentlemen. Assuming...
I'm still waiting on Updog to do something.
And Taz Blitz, nope, just joking, of course. Yes, I figured you were. Tricon 32, you sold me. I'm going all in on CATBREAD. Please don't go all in on CATBREAD. Give him the CATBREAD. Don't give him the CATBREAD. All right. Gentlemen, another week done and wrapped up. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate everyone's continuing support as always, guys. We really couldn't do the show without you. Thank you to the whole team, of course, Alex and Jason for knocking out another week of analysis and a lot more. Mr. Ether, Dark Rico, y'all are mods, all our channel moderators as well. Everybody in the community, I thank you so much. All the regulars. Couldn't do this without you. You know how it goes. We will be back on Monday. In the meantime, check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com for all the goods, including signals, education, pathways to profits course, indicators. Man, so much to be found over there. Last but not least, do check out discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Join the community. In fact, if you're a premium member this weekend, you know how we do it every Saturday night is UFC or movie night. We will be watching, let me just double check. Yep, UFC 263 is live tomorrow. Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. Yes, Adesanya, Vettori. This should be excellent middleweight event. Yeah, should be a very good fight. Do check us out in the premium lounge for tomorrow. Look forward to that. All right, guys.
Could be as bad as last week's fight.
Last week's fight was definitely quite the exhibition, quite the spectacle, if I say so myself.
$1 million to hug a man for a couple minutes.
Exactly. It was quite the hug fest. With that said, they were all good sports in the end. Yes, boxing is really entering a new era, isn't it? With that said, guys, I got to move to wrap. Final words to our analysts. Out the door we go.
Be cautious over the weekend.
Yeah, for me, I feel like this is going to be a really volatile weekend. It's just what my gut tells me. I'm not sure what the signals are going to look like considering what the last 2 days have been coming into candle close, but it might be a weekend that you do nothing or honestly protect your capital because I really do think that this could be a really weak weekend. I'm just not feeling it.
All right. Well, stay safe, guys. Don't get wrecked. You know where to find us. Check us out on the Discord. We'll be back for another installment on Monday. Interesting market activity afoot. Will Bitcoin go for 40K this weekend? I certainly hope so. In the meantime, logging off now. Peace out, homies.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.